Can I say I love Michael Jordan's signature look, though. Like, I honestly wouldn't want to change a thing. Like, he gets to wear the camo cargo pants forever. Are all pants like cargo shorts at a certain point when you're that tall?
Well, it has to do with the ability to put trinkets in the sides.
He's got
the pockets are what makes it cargo because you're like carrying around goods and services.
Right.
Tradable items.
Like, what if they're not even shorts? They're just pants, but he's so tall that they look like cargo shorts.
That's interesting. Everything's kind of a capri on him, unless otherwise.
Have we ever stopped to think about how hard it is to be Michael Jordan? Have we ever considered?
No, I think every time I see him, I'm like, A, he's not that tall. And then B, I'm like, oh my God, his joints must hurt so bad from being so tall.
Do you guys ever just look at a tall person and go, are you in pain?
How are your knees?
Just like generally, are your joints okay? I'm thinking about you, babes. About you. I think he would like that if we came up to him at the track and we were like, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about your joints.
Yeah.
Holding space for them in my prayers. I think he'd like that. Welcome to Labs Down, everybody. My name is Andrea.
And I'm MJ.
And we are excited to be back at you with another episode this week. We have a little bit of IndyCar news. We have less F1 news, and then we have a NASCAR race to recap. This is like a good old-fashioned off week where everybody else takes a break except for NASCAR. They keep grinding away. But we're almost to our 1 week where we won't have any NASCAR because they go, well, Easter is where we draw the line. We can't race on Easter.
Okay.
And my birthday.
I know. How exciting.
I was born on Easter, but Easter changes every year. So it's like sometimes my birthday is on Easter again. Sometimes it's not.
Oh, that's fun.
My 21st birthday was on Easter. That wasn't fun.
Nice. So it was on a Sunday. So it's not like you could really do a whole lot anyways, right?
And it was COVID. Like the first couple weeks of COVID. Yeah, it was like, they were like, guys, go enjoy your 3-week spring break.
Yeah.
That never ended. But I don't know. Maybe I'll turn up on my birthday in memory of NASCAR. We'll miss you, girl, for that 1 week that you're gone. Anywho, do you want to start with, let's switch it up. Let's start with NASCAR because we have something to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? I mean, I don't...
Scrolling down to the bottom of the dock.
Scrolling down to the bottom. Yeah, I didn't mean to alarm you. I just, let's get to the chase. Okay.
I love it.
You want to kick things off with an interesting point here that I think is important that we address. I think that we are known AI haters, right? I think so.
Yes. I sure hope so.
If you don't know, now you do. We hate AI, especially generative AI, if you're using it for pictures or videos, or if you're in the case of Fox, where you're just using it in replacement of any sort of creativity to your production. We don't like that. Can we talk about how out of hand it's gotten?
It's ridiculous, especially in the case of the Speed Show with Kevin Harvick and Will Buxton. Everything they do is AI, which, okay. Everything they do is AI. Old people, right? Like, you gotta let them try something a couple times. The fact that every single comment they get under all of their posts is like, hey, this is really cringe and embarrassing. Or it's always that picture of a man sitting on a chair that's like, I don't have time for your AI slop or whatever it is.
Your AI slop bores me.
Yes. You would think eventually they would be like, I think people aren't fucking with this. And it's not like rage bait engagement numbers. Because, if it was, I'd be like, all right, I mean,
we're
hit the player.
Into the trap. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just to the point that it's like, they're posting it and then they're not even deleting comments. Like, you guys truly don't give a fuck about this show, which makes me sad because, as I noted a little bit later, oh yeah, see, I did a little hyphen and then I was talking about how I kind of don't hate the speed show simply because sometimes they have the most bizarre pairings of drivers on. Like, most recently, I still don't fuck with AI. I'm not getting away from that. I just have to have a little side tangent real quick. Most recently, they had Scott Dixon and Joey Logano on, and I think it was Kevin Harvick who was like, now if you guys had to switch cars, who do you think would have a harder time figuring it out? And Scott Dixon, the nice guy he is, was like, oh, no, that's a really good question. And Joey Logano was like, probably me driving an Indy car because you guys have a bunch of buttons and you're adjusting, and I'm just kind of just like driving the car with like a radio button. And Scott Dixon's like, no, I definitely think there'd be a learning curve for both of us. I was like, come on.
Scott, please. No, and then the week before they had Mick Schumacher and Connor Zilisch on, and like they were talking about Connor Zilich's like background in open wheel racing. They were talking about like both of them coming up through like karting. They were talking to Mick about like his experience dealing with like a prominent last name, and Kevin Harvick was like talking to him about that. It's an interesting concept for a show. They have the poll to get like very interesting guests that no other quote unquote podcast would be able to do. I mean, nobody's like, hey, Joey and Scott, do you guys want to go on the Laps Down podcast? How fun. So like, it's like literally they're the only show really that like can pull these sorts of guests consistently. Yet every week I log on to Instagram and it is the most garbage bullshit AI slop of an Indy car racing around in the parking lot of 10 different NHL or NFL stadiums. I'm like, please. Like, you have to hire somebody. You can't do this.
Especially because they're trying to get into like they'll pretend they're not. They'll be like, we're doing hell yeah, brother. We're getting back to our roots of like whatever the hell that means. And like trying to tailor, they're like cosplaying as if they're tailoring to the older generations, but it's like very clearly you guys are marketing like Carson Hocevar, Connor Zilisch, like you're trying to get into the young audience. And I really think that the speed show and the format of it, the fact that it's like a podcast, it's more like internet based, whatever, what have you, is a great way to get younger fans into it, especially because it's so clippable. Like it would do really well on social media, but then it's like, so you see that fun video of Mick Schumacher talking about like the fact that he used to like hide his last name in karting and whatever, and you go to the speed page with Kevin Harvick and Will Buxton, and you're like, I'd like to see some more content from these people. Maybe I'll give them a follow. And then the first thing you see is like these fuck ass bobbleheads, and it's always a bobblehead every single week. They're like, we're gonna stick with this. Forget morals and integrity. These fuck ass bobbleheads of our guests, it's gonna be the hill that we die on. And
Photoshop
then it's like
the
they're out.
It's genuinely got to be easier. It's genuinely got to be easier.
Like bad graphics are better than AI graphics.
Like just one face on a little bobblehead. You can,
and we know you have people who can do it because you've been doing it for years. You've had people doing shit for years. So you're purposefully firing people in these roles to replace them with AI. You're immediately upsetting your fan base, or you're turning off people who are like neutral on AI, but they're like, that looks tacky. It's just, you guys are so... Fox is embarrassing me again. NASCAR and Fox are embarrassing me again.
Please. It's embarrassing. Do you want to know something interesting about the Fox broadcast that I just thought of a couple days ago? Yeah. So you know how like NASCAR has all these different partners that they broadcast with. I just saw them posting that they were doing USA Network Media Day or something like that. They have to do separate media days for each network partner. And we're going to see in direct comparison why people complain about the Fox broadcast so much, because I bet your ass the Prime network or like basically every other network like is not going to do this like corny AI stuff. They're just going to make like good content like by far, like Prime is like a great example of like how social media friendly they made NASCAR and like how clippable they were in like the pre and post shows, like literally creating and generating stories every single week for NASCAR. No AI. Honestly, like they didn't even really need graphics. You don't even really need graphics. But like if you're gonna do them, like don't make them look like shit.
That's the
Why do
thing.
you
Is
need,
like
why do you need an AI
you don't
video
need
of a car?
graphics.
Just you have film of a car. You have film of a car. You
That
don't
was
need
really
an AI
funny.
video of a car.
When Breakhard was like, damn, I wish there was video of Joey Logano doing a burnout at whatever track it was. And then he just like immediately clipped to it. It's lazy, and it's like, it's just so like lazy and uninteresting. It's like there is no clear benefit to you guys doing this besides you think it's saving you money. That's it.
Fox just put us in charge of everything. Please stop embarrassing us. Jeez. And yes, we'll come on the speed show. Just no AI graphics, please. That's where we draw the line. Please.
Make me a real bobblehead. Also, if you're gonna make bobbleheads and you're selling the Scott Dixon ones, I would buy one. Just
I think like honestly, you know how like in hockey they do like themed nights where you show up and you just like get a bobblehead or like for example, a Hello Kitty plushie. Who would have thought that like I would want one of those? Maybe. I think like we gotta bring that into motorsports. Like I want something for free the moment I walk in the door. I don't care what it is.
I think that'd be fun.
But I would love bobbleheads. They do that at baseball too. If you're a dying sport with low viewership, you got to give people free shit. Please.
That's what everyone else is doing. You're saving so much money not hiring graphic designers. You could give us a bobblehead. Actually, the Iowa Wild is having like race car night. I don't know, Speedway night, where they're working with the Iowa Speedway for, I don't know what they're doing, but they're giving out free stuff. So I'll report back. It's just funny because it's like, oh, so now we're gonna market the Iowa Speedway
after you guys murdered in cold blood our beautiful doubleheader for IndyCar. Just as we're really starting to figure this short oval stuff out, we're not going to do that anymore. Okay, interesting. We'll talk about that at a later date, but we're still upset about it. Something else that like was kind of an internet drama this week in NASCAR that I wanted to touch on. So you know how Darlington used to be the throwback weekend, and then they were like, you don't have to do throwbacks anymore because people kept complaining like we ran out of ideas to throw back to, and then it just became this stupid thing.
Do you remember us having that conversation? We tried to be like an active part in the conversation. We're like, how could you run out of ideas? We've only watched it for one season. There's 30 cars out there? Like there has to be more.
Restart it, guys. Run it back. I mean, also like
it's throwback.
Think of throwbacks as Halloween costumes. Nobody gives you shit for like wearing like a stereotypical like Halloween costume. Like, do you know how many years I've had to pretend like that nurse costume is cute for some girl at a party?
No, dude.
But like nobody cares.
I've been a Puck Bunny for like 5 or 6 years in a row. Nobody cares. Does wonders every year.
Yeah. Do you know how many times I've been Hermione from Harry Potter? Literally every year until the transphobia stuff. And then I was like, I think I got to retire her. And that was tough. A little part of me was like, do I have to? But now I just like, it's just, you don't have to. We're not asking for originality here. Like you could have just kept reusing the same shit. But whatever. They don't do it anymore, except for select few people decided to integrate it into their designs. Like RFK decided to use the Greg Biffle like number font tribute across all of their cars. And then I think the only other like real throwback that we had was the Carson Hocevar one. So Carson Hocevar decided to do a tribute to a Dale Earnhardt Sr. paint scheme, the blue and yellow. I believe it was like the Wrangler sponsorship. And instead of like Wrangler, it's just Chili's, but it's like the same colors and whatnot. And there was a lot of people accusing him of being cringe for this. They were saying that Carson is trying too hard to lean into the Dale Earnhardt Sr. comparisons between this car and the Ride the Dente Intimidator scheme that he ran a couple weeks ago. Do you think he is being cringe? And also, do you think being cringe is a crime?
No, thank you for asking. I think the argument starts to fall apart for me when you try to pretend that racing in NASCAR is anything but cringe.
Okay. So we've
Like-
already, you guys are all trying to be nasty here.
Everything about it is cringe. And trying to act like this is like a cool thing in any type of way. I love NASCAR. It's cringe. I thought the I'm not really in the discourse though, so my opinion is not swayed by the Twitter people. I saw the little livery that they did for the car, and I said sick. I saw the little outfit Carson was wearing. I said sick, and then I simply gave it no more thoughts. And then when I saw it on the track, I was like, it looks good. I also saw the clip where Dale Jr. was like, no, I really like it. Like, I think this is one of the best ones they've ever done. And so I was like, so what are we bitching about? I guess is my question. Having fun?
So, like, yeah.
Looking hot while doing it? Suddenly it's cringe to look hot.
Yeah, he wanted to like try on something new and like wear something cutesy and retro.
That's
like,
his
you guys have never
jeans
wanted to
and a
fucking
cute
do
shirt.
that before? Jeans and a cute top. Exactly. Heaven forbid, really. And then also, my thing is, I don't think he has ever said himself that he thinks he is like Dale Sr. Everyone else has said that. And then the moment he's like, I like Dale Sr. He's pretty cool. And it's cool that people think that I drive like my idol. Like maybe for throwback weekend, I could do like a throwback to my favorite Dale Sr. paint scheme. And everybody was like, oh my God, now you did it. You're doing too much. I'm like, how did you guys switch up on him like this? Really?
It's because they're just never happy.
Carson.
No, he also does not control what gets put on the car. Brothers, is it because, are we mad at him? I think there's many reasons we're hating on him. Is it because it is Dale Sr. though? If he was like a huge like Tony Stewart fan and people were like, oh my God, you're just like Tony Stewart. And then he's like, look at my orange Home Depot car.
Yeah, sure. I think so. I think you're right.
I think so too, but I'm not sure. Do you think people would be like, oh my God, it's so cringe, you're trying to be Tony Stewart?
No,
Or do
I
you think
it's
it's
only because it's Dale Sr. Like, this is, and my thing is, this isn't like other sports where we're putting the number up in the rafters. I think it's okay to pay tribute to Dale Sr.
Yeah.
You guys, I think you just have to figure out why you are so mad that Carson specifically is doing it. And I think what's so interesting too is that like Dale Jr. seems so happy and thrilled by it. He said, my only thing is that I want them to do it well. He was like talking about how other people have tried to do this like paint scheme in the past and they haven't done it right. That was his only thing. He himself has said very kind things about Carson and that he like reminds him of like the comparisons to Dale Sr. Like, so why do you guys act like you are in the family? You're not in the family. Dale said it's okay. He said we can do it.
He said it's fine.
He said he's cool with it. I'm glad that we had this talk because I think he's getting prematurely called cringe. And I don't think
he is cringe. Everything about this sport is cringe. All of the drivers in it are cringe. The fact that you're driving a car with like a fuck ton of sponsors, cringe. Like it's all cringe. But like cringe is kind of beautiful at the end of the day.
There's some motorsports that I think don't do enough cringe and they take themselves so seriously and there's no fun and no cringe.
Name them.
Formula One. They're cringe in the way that they refuse to be cringe. It comes back around.
Right.
But like NASCAR needs to just be cringe and embrace cringe. And to be honest, Carson is doing it the best out of anybody in the field. I don't see anybody else wearing a jean driver's suit every weekend. A couple weekends in Vegas, it had rhinestones on it. Nobody else is doing it like him.
He had a cape.
So start putting some appreciation on his name. And I hope someday, in like 35 years, there's some little kid out there causing a ruckus in his throwback Carson Hocevar scheme. That would be beautiful
100%.
to see. It all comes back around, folks.
That could be your kid out there. My kid's going to be in the Ryan Priest scheme.
My kid's going to be too poor to race. We ain't got no money, kid. I don't know. You better learn some engineering or something if you want to work in racing, because it's not looking good for us, kid. I'm not putting a second mortgage on the house. You understand. You might suck or lose out to a Nepo baby.
A house? There is no house.
I'm glad we had this talk. I'm glad that we're on the same page. Another like maybe cringe thing that we can talk about here is all of the drivers before this race were hyping up this package as like the craziest thing known to mankind. Like they were like, I think it was Chase Briscoe was like, I've been driving this on the sim. I can't even do a single lap without crashing the car. Like Denny Hamlin has been talking for weeks. It's like, this is the craziest package NASCAR has ever brought to a race. This is going to be the most outstanding race you've ever seen with your eyeballs. I don't know about you, but I just don't feel like it lived up to that. What do you think about that downforce? What do you think about that horsepower? What do you think about that?
That downforce. I thought it was I thought it was a good race. I've retracted my statement earlier where I was like, this race, it's fine. Or I think I said it was a bad race compared to O'Reilly and the Trucks race. I thought it was a good race. I thought the tires had a lot to do with it as well. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think it lived up to the hype that we've been spoon-fed? No. And I think it's really great that Tyler Reddick won his 4th race this season so that we didn't have to talk about the fact that it didn't live up to the hype that we've been being spoon-fed.
We were just like given another storyline of like, look how good Tyler Reddick is, and we don't have to discuss the fact that maybe, just maybe, this track could be at times a snoozer. I think that like in NASCAR, we are unfair sometimes to snoozers of races, which is that like they can't all be bangers. And sometimes we just got to go out there, do some green flag running, have a couple stage winners and move on. Like that's okay.
I think it was a fine race. I really do. Like if I tried to convince one of my friends, this is how I always judge it. If I'm trying to convince a stranger to get into NASCAR and this was their first race, would I be embarrassed? And no, I don't think so. I think that there was enough entertainment, but I think it was more on like the driver storylines because like what the fuck was going on with half of your cars and how did you keep going from the back to the front? I don't know.
Great. Yeah.
No, but I wouldn't say like
figure that out.
I'm going to have to rewatch it, I think, a couple times because I just don't know.
There's been so many times this year where I'm like, some of you guys have got to be cheating, right? Like, I just am not really understanding like how Tyler Reddick is in the pits getting a new battery put in his car at one point and then he's winning the next point. Or like, how many times can Ryan Blaney go from the back to the front? How many? Before we go, let's run those cars through tech again. Well, right? Is somebody cheating?
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I thought that I had a grasp on NASCAR last year. Like, I was pretty confident. But after watching all of the races this year, I'm like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't
really know what they're doing out there.
Let's also talk about the fact that Alex Bowman is still out. He said that he's going to be out for 3 weeks at least, or 3 races. So I don't think he'll be back until after the Easter break.
Right. He's currently like 3rd to last in stand. He has 23 points right now. It's making me sad. I hope he gets better soon. Even if he's not able to race, because like vertigo sucks. It sucks
Yeah.
so bad. And the thought of vertigo and then your job being driving a vehicle that you could get into a collision with, I just can't help but feel for him. Justin Allgaier, he raced this race too, right?
Yeah, interestingly, and it's worth mentioning, Justin Allgaier ended up winning on Saturday, and then on Sunday, looks like he's never driven a NASCAR before. And I don't know if it's something to do with the 48. Maybe sucks.
No, I think it's worse than that. I think he just can't drive the the Cup Series car. But something I noticed that I thought boy, did it give me a chuckle. It did. It did give me a chuckle. Am I allowed to say this? Because I think so. I'm going to anyways. I was going through our Grid Rival because we do fantasy on Grid Rival. And I just thought it was funny that Justin Allgaier is 29th in the rankings. And the last person at the bottom of the rankings is Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
No, literally brutal. Ricky, what have you been doing?
He's also, I have a lot of questions about Ricky. He's also like going on like a little media tour right now. Is he in a contract? Like, is he up for contract, or are they just trying to repair his image? Because like, if they want to repair his image, they have to have him fight Carson Hocevar, I feel like.
He has to fight somebody, right? Like,
I mean,
that's like your whole
gotta.
thing. That's like your whole thing, my love. You have to, I guess. He said he didn't want to pay the $75,000 fee that NASCAR imposes if you get in a fight, which has also been a discussion this week. No, yeah, he is broke. Do you think that they should let people fight in NASCAR?
No, and here's why. Because NASCAR is cringe. Watching these men fight, it's really cringe. If they were like, okay, we'll let you fight, but you have to take this required like 6-week course on how to throw a punch and like where you're supposed to hit somebody and like how to like shit talk, then I'd be like, oh yeah, no, let them fight. Like, I know it's gonna make good TV product, but like watching them like bitch slap each other, it's like, okay, well, now people are gonna be mean to you on the internet.
There are some sports where I do think that they get away with like cringe fighting. Like, I think hockey is a great example of a lot of people know how to throw down in fights in hockey that I've seen, but there also are some people, there's something very cringe about the act of like taking off the gloves and being like, now we're
circling each other.
Now we're ready. But the thought of a NASCAR driver having to, I've seen ones where they're punching them when they still have like their helmet on and stuff. I'm like, oh, come on. Like what are we even doing here? Like, I think if we are going to have them fight in NASCAR, you have to wait for them in a non-cringe way to take off any helmet, Hans device, or gloves, because it looks cringe if you're punching a helmet. And I also think we should have a list of who can and can't. Some of you are on the cannot fight list. Like, for example, like the thought of Austin Cindric, my love, like you're too Langley. Like the limbs are, I just think it might not look right. I don't think you can fight. Joey Logano, I don't think you can fight. But Ryan Blaney can. So if we're going to fight, like he's going to be the representative from Penske.
Oh, you think that they should do like districts?
I think like everybody gets a fighter. And there's some people who like, they can take turns. If you feel like you got two fighters on your team, you know what I mean? Like with Brian Priest and Chris Buescher, I think like we really could put either one up. Like they could take turns. That. Yeah, like I think both.
I think it should also be like they should have like a weight class, a height class, because like I don't, as much as I think it would be funny, I don't think it would be that funny to watch one of these tall guys like beat on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Like I just don't think I would get the enjoyment out of it that we're wanting from this spectacle.
If Ricky wants to fight somebody and he's decided it's Carson. We're going to say thank you so much for your submittal. As the fighting committee, we've decided that we do approve the fight, however, not against Carson, and we will be sending Daniel Suarez as the Spire Motorsports representative. Good luck. It's like good luck. And all this is
you have to like submit it.
Yeah, it'll feel
you're like calling to your spotter. You're calling to your spotter. You're like, I think I want to fight somebody after this. And he's like, okay, well, let me go talk to his spotter and make sure that it's okay.
We're going to get started on that paperwork. You just finish this race, buddy. We're going to get started on the paperwork. It'll
like
feel
that.
authentic, though, to the viewer. They'll like it. You guys. Don't worry. Yeah, it'll feel good to you guys. No, I think that's great. Do you think that it's fair, though, that NASCAR charges you $75,000 to be in a fight and then uses the fight as promotional material for NASCAR?
I think it's freaking genius. I think that's really genius marketing and business on NASCAR's part. I think that's great. And I think next they should give them all a piece of paper that says you're not allowed to compete in other series, and also you have to pay us a lot of money if you want to keep your cars. I think that's really good.
All right. Well, I'll see you in court. So, do we want to talk about this race?
I mean, we're already at 30 minutes in. We might as well talk about it.
We might as well. Yeah, we can talk about a little bit of racing. So there's one star of the race that I feel like didn't get his chance to shine. And I wanted to speak on it. And let's talk about Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski was our winner of stage 1, of stage 2. Before the race, he was like, I'd really like to see this Greg Biffle number make it to winner's circle. And I believed him. I really thought we were going to get there. It just kind of fell apart a little bit for him in stage 3. It's interesting how the races have been kind of feeling that way lately, where I think they shared a stat during the broadcast where it's like nobody who's won stage 2 has gone on to win the race so far this season. And I'm like, that's an interesting stat. Like, I'm like, I mean, maybe that's good for an entertainment perspective, but I am kind of like, what's happening?
Does that really mean anything with, like, the concept of, like, flipping the stages anyways? Because it's like sometimes the person who wins stage 2 was actually in 32nd and everyone decided to pit.
Right. And like, points racing is different now for this whole, like, chase format. You know what I mean? So it's changing the strategy around the flipping of the stages and who stays out and who goes in, whatever. I also think it's Tyler Reddick is like trying to do an Alex Palou where he's like being sneaky until like the last minute. And then he's like, psych, I actually had the fastest car all day. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where did you come from? Crazy. And so I think Tyler Reddick is an important factor to put into this stat. But yeah, I wanted to point out with Brad, he was very fast. He was doing very well for this race. They kept saying that this race was really going to play into the hands of veterans because of the challenge of this new package and the challenge of Darlington. And so I really believe we were going to get a Brad win. I do think it's interesting. He's still walking around with a cane, and it kind of gives NASCAR an appearance of elder abuse. Because they're like, here's this man with a cane. He can't really walk very well. We're going to make him drive this car, though. I'm like, can we... Is he okay to drive? Like, did we ever clear him? No, it looks like horrible optically, seeing this poor guy wobble around with a cane, and then he gets in, he's like, I have to drive. They're forcing me. Like,
can't he have a weekend off?
Aren't you a team owner?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who is forcing you, Brad? Please tell me.
It's the Aston Martin thing where it's like, it's completely optional to be here, actually. This is not a life or death thing.
But do you think it is unfair that we have not seen beyond the clash, which I think counts as a win because we like Ryan Preece, but maybe doesn't count as a win in the points scoring sense of the word. Do you think it's unfair that we haven't seen an RFK win so far this season?
Ever.
Honestly, since we've been watching NASCAR.
We've never seen one, and I don't believe they exist, so I think it'd be really cool if they would just, like, prove it. I think, though, I will say this year they look a lot better than they did at the beginning of the year last year. And I feel like they kind of got better near the end of the year. So I'm hoping we still have that kind of progression. So maybe we will see a win.
Mhm.
But also, 90% of what we've seen has been Tyler Reddick wins. So, like,
So it's not fair to fault them. I mean, lots of teams don't have wins this season. Hendrick doesn't have a win this season. I mean, lots of teams, you know what I mean? Whatever. I think there is something interesting to say, too, about they are consistently still doing well, which is what this chase format is supposed to, reward.
I think
so it's okay if they didn't get a win. They interestingly did like some AI slop in the middle of the broadcast where they called Chris Buescher a grinder, and they AI slopped his face onto a no, we'll talk about the implications in a second. They AI slopped his face onto like a chef, like making a grinder sandwich, and they're like, he grinds away week after week and makes these grinder sandwiches, and the whole time I'm like, stop saying grinder, it doesn't mean what you
It's
think
like-
it means.
I don't know. I can't tell if they're like middle school boys and they're doing this on purpose. But between
Right.
being like,
Twinks?
ooh, grinder, and then Twinks, we heard Twinks recently. We also heard it's called the Gluck cast, and I get that that's his last name, but there are implications, Jeffrey. It's just
Talk
like
about the implications.
it's like NASCAR gone sexual, but like in a very like
Can I title the episode that? Can I please title the episode NASCAR gone
I don't know why not, because it's not like we're monetized anyways.
Okay, fair enough. Gonna do it. I just don't understand why they say it with the most like old man sincerity, but they're like, Chris Buescher is the grinder. He grinds away. I'm like, stop.
We all call him
And-
Grinder. He's always grinding.
And I'm also like, between this and the book cam and the twinks and the
No, literally.
You
You
guys
guys are a
gotta
bunch
stop.
of perverts. You're worried about being
Weirdos.
cringe? Stay
You're
off
going
the
to jail.
internet.
You're going to jail. Oh god, just don't call him that anymore, please. Nobody's ever called him that. Just don't call my friend Chris
Stop
that,
it.
please. Stop it. So we had a pretty clean race. There's only a couple cautions that I wanted to highlight because there was really only a couple cautions out to talk about. The first one being Eric Jones gets spun around. Denny Hamlin is behind him, gets checked up. In the process, does some damage to Bubba Wallace, kind of ruins Bubba Wallace's day, who's having a pretty good, like he started in second after qualifying. Clearly, 2311 is good. Bubba Wallace is good. I think he's third overall in points. But boy, I bet he wishes that he could take part in this 2311 win thing that's happening. Especially now while they have the speed, because who knows later in the season what could happen. And he's a girl dad now. So I think he deserves it.
Oh, congratulations, Bubba.
You and I have said before that he gives girl dad energy and that it was only a matter of
100%.
time. I'm glad that the prophecy has been fulfilled. But I don't know. Like, a lot of people are mad. It's always Denny that seems to ruin Bubba's race. Is he jealous, do you think? He's jealous.
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, all the facts are there. And I guess you just have to put them together.
Jump to conclusions.
I think he's sabotaging Bubba Wallace. Why?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
I know.
But it's upsetting me.
I think that, well, we can talk about some more race manipulation that happened, but I think it has something to do with that 2311 lawsuit and whatever sort of rigging that they promised that they would do after the settlement. Because later on, the last lap of the race, we have Riley Herbst and Chase Briscoe get into each other. They didn't really show on the broadcast what happened, and I don't really care enough to look, but they did get into each other. And instead of bringing in a caution out, they get on the radio and they're like, both of you fuckers, pit lane now. We do not need a caution. Like, Tyler Reddick is leading the race. He's going to win. people are saying that this is MJ. They're making serious accusations. They're saying that this is all race manipulation because of the 2311 lawsuit, and that this whole thing is rigged. And when they finished the lawsuit, they sat in a boardroom and they said, the prophecy is written, Tyler Reddick must win basically all of the races. And I think Denny's taking Bubba out because part of the settlement is that it has to be Tyler Reddick that wins. And Denny would know that, of course, because he was in the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with the facts. It really is.
That's what it's got to be, I think. That has to be what happened.
It is interesting to me that Tyler Reddick is just on this tear. I'm like, you know what? Now that we're talking about it,
it is a little suspicious.
It is. Look, here's what I'll say. Right now, I'm saying this is a conspiracy, and there's some motherfucking hootenanny going on. If, and only if, Bubba wins the next race, will I retract my statement. And then I'll be like, oh, no, they're just good.
We are on to you for this hootenanny and this conspiracy, and we will not give up the case until Bubba wins. So do with that information as you must, Mr. Michael Jordan and the France family, because we're on to you. You're ruining the sport we love with this rigging and this hootenanny. And we will not stand for it any longer. We will not stand for it any longer. It ends today.
No, I think if it was really
funny. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think if it was really rigged, like, we all have to be rational. Like, we have to be so rational. It wouldn't be Tyler Reddick winning. It would be Riley Herbst. If it was rigged. That's because he's bringing in the money, so we want to appease Daddy Herbst.
He paid for the lawyers.
Right. So, like, let's be totally realistic. It was never going to be her. It was never going to be Tyler Reddick. It was always going to be Riley. And I did look up Riley's stats today because I was like, what if we're being too hard on the young man? What if maybe he hasn't finished so poorly? I mean, whoa, his record is abysmal just this year alone. Bad. Like, it's so bad.
People are making hate edits of him. Alongside, and this is how you know it's bad. Alongside Nolan Siegel, it's like you two are on Fraud Watch, and I'm like, that's brutal.
We can't do that. Those are different flavors of Nepo baby. We cannot be putting Riley Herbst and come on.
Different flavors? I think they're similar flavors, MJ.
No, it's like sherbet, where it's like they're both like fruity flavors, but like definitely one's a little bit more citrusy than the other.
They're similar flavors. They're feeling like similar flavors. Speaking of Riley Herbst, he was kind of doing fine. And then Connor Zilic got into the back of him. I think he didn't know that Riley was going to pit or something like that. And Connor was like, hey, can you tell his spotter? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And then the message Riley gave back was, fuck him. He can go fuck himself.
I think that's
And I thought that's insane. Funny. You think that's funny? You think this is a big laugh?
I think you have to let the sophomores bully the freshmen. You have to. It's none of our business. We're upperclassmen. We don't need to worry about it. But like, if they want to spat, at least it's funny, you know?
Right. And that's an SVG, also a sophomore. That's why he gets away with bullying Connor.
Exactly.
Little bit.
See, I knew you'd get it.
Can we talk about Trackhouse? Let's address the fact that they're not doing good, kind of at all. They're like posting graphics being like, we qualified 27th, 23rd, and 31st. And I'm like, that's not good numbers, folks. Those aren't good numbers. I think as a Connor Zilic fan, I'm starting to get a little peeved off, okay? Because I already want him to leave NASCAR and go to IndyCar. So I'm getting a little peeved off that we're wasting our time around here with a team that lost Pitbull money and now can't put a car together. What's going on there?
I feel like they've had some fine races, though, because we always talk about how SVG is doing pretty well. I think Connor is struggling in the Cup car. And you know who else is struggling in the Cup car? Justin Allgaier. So maybe the Cup car ain't shit. Huh? Have we ever considered that?
These Zoomers, famously, Justin Allgaier, a Zoomer, of course, and Connor Zilic are really struggling with these Cup cars. The young ones,
Riley Herbst,
which Justin Allgaier is included in that, clearly, is struggling. They're struggling with that.
So maybe fix your car.
Ty Gibbs doesn't have a win in Cup because he's of the age where it probably has a TikTok account. And thus he can't do well in the Cup car. That's the rules. We don't make them.
I am getting increasingly more nervous that we are going to see a Ty Gibbs win this year, which kind of goes against everything I said about him being replaced.
Well, I would never bet against Peepaw.
Peepaw.
Peepaw's love will keep him in that seat for years to come. All he needs is one win, and he's set for at least another 5-year contract.
Peepaw has the most insane veneers I've ever fucking seen.
You know what's so funny about Joe Gibbs is my husband came in the room one time while I was watching a NASCAR race, and they were talking about Joe Gibbs, and they were showing him on the TV, and he goes, "Man, that guy's been old my whole life."
No, he's right. That guy's been old my whole life. I just noticed him. He was like smiling up at MJ, and just like his top teeth. I was like, they look like they shouldn't be in your head. Like those don't belong there.
Oh god, don't make fun of people. They're not even veneers, they're probably dentures, MJ. So have some decorum, please.
No, dude, they're crazy. Me just looking, oh my god, he has always been old. Like this photo's in black and white and he still looks kind of old.
Yeah. I think he's just like been old forever. I don't think he's ever been young.
Dude, these are crazy teeth. Okay, sorry.
Moving on from the Joe Gibbs veneers. Okay, so something else I wanted to talk about. Ryan Blaney, horrible pit stops. And this is like very reminiscent to what happened in Phoenix, where it's like he's stopping in other people's pit stalls to get his tires tightened. Just ridiculous shenanigans. And you know what it reminded me of? I was like, this kind of reminds me of my friends over at Andretti. What are we doing here? We have a guy who's like continuously fighting from the back to the front, back to the front, back to the front. And every time he gets to the front, he has to make a pit stop.
But he won in Phoenix. Here's what I'm thinking. I think they're like, well, we know for sure if we make him go to the back multiple times, he can pull it out and win. So maybe if we continue to make him go to the back, he'll win again. So I think, here's my conspiracy. I think it's 100% intentional by the pit crew.
I think the pit crew should be very scared because they were like, let's listen into Ryan Blaney's radio. I know he's got something cooking. And they like cut to his radio and he's like, all right, guys, we just can't be doing that, huh? You know what I mean? Like, we got to clean it up a little bit. And the announcers, they were like, that's not good. He's going to murder
scary.
them.
It was giving like the typical, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And it's like, no, you're fucking pissed. I can tell.
He's fuming in that car. Fuming. Because if you guys are new to NASCAR, one thing you could rely on Ryan Blaney to be doing is to be causing a ruckus on the radio. Every little thing. Just being a full cuss out session on the radio. If he's not cussing, something is afoot. He's planning your downfall. Scary stuff. Okay, Tyler Reddick wins despite his alternator. I don't fucking know. Something gone wrong with his car, okay? We're not a technical podcast. We're a comedy podcast. So they took the battery out. They put another battery in. What's this about a joke that they made?
He made a
I don't think I caught this.
I think it was Clint. Is Clint on this broadcast? I was going to be like, I think it was Townsend Bell. It was Clint. Said something about they took a battery out and put a bigger battery in, and he goes, and you could tell I could hear the smile in his voice. Dude, I'm telling you, NASCAR gone sexual. He was like, I don't know if it's going to work, but I do know that size matters, and that one was significantly bigger that just went in, so I hope it pays off. And I was like, oh, stop. Now if he does win, you've tainted it.
Why would he make that joke?
And nobody laughed. Not even me.
Nobody laughed.
Save that for Grindr, brother.
It is insane that Tyler Reddick keeps winning despite these mechanical issues. They did kind of talk a little bit on the broadcast about like sometimes when you like do something to your car, it like weirdly could work to your advantage. And they kind of highlighted that Denny Hamlin was experiencing something similar where he was like complaining about his car. He like bumped it on the wall. And then he was like, actually, the car's feeling a lot better. And they were like, sometimes you just like fuck with a toe link, not too much. We've talked about what happens when you fuck with the toe link too much, but you just do a little something, and it makes your car a little bit easier to handle.
Yeah, he literally won without a fender, a bumper,
a thing over
front
the
lip.
tire.
I don't know. But he did win without it, and I remember them showing me pictures and me going, "That doesn't look right. That doesn't look like the cars I know."
He went open wheeled for just a little bit there. His car was feeling a little bit racy.
Tyler Reddick,
an open wheel car. Indy 500.
Doing the double.
Damn, let's go. Come on, boys. Give me the Indy 500. We'll get a Toyota running in there.
Sure. We'll get him a Toyota.
I don't really understand how that works. Maybe it's something I could try with my own car at home. There's some things I think that, when I smacked my Nissan Altima 2 separate times, but in the same place in a Costco parking garage, I do feel like it made it easier to handle. I was really starting to get the hang of the car more after I smacked it on the wall 2 separate times. Maybe the rust kind of helped a little bit. The rust that is now on the side of the car helped, maybe.
Downforce?
Probably. Yeah, something along those lines. But yeah, shout out Tyler Reddick. Do you think you're bored of Tyler Reddick dominance?
Yeah, I do.
Listen, folks, she's straightforward here.
I do. Yeah, no, okay, can I say something mean?
Yeah.
I
you
think
have the be mean card.
He may be one of, okay, this might be controversial. What I'm saying here actually might be a problem. I think if I had to rank all of the drivers on the grid, who I think would be like the most entertaining to see win multiple in a row, I think he would be near the bottom. Same with like Christopher Bell. He didn't really give anything when he won 3 in a row. So I would like, if it was Bubba winning multiple, like he'd be going nuts. He'd be having a good time. He'd be floating on air. Like he would really, I think it would be entertaining. But like Tyler Reddick, I'm like, okay, he won another one. Great. Let's see how long he can do this for.
What do you think about the photos, though, that he's recreating in Aura Farming online, where he's like holding trophies and doing this with the cigar, like he's Michael Jordan, like recreating Michael Jordan pictures? That's like kind of doing numbers.
Didn't know he was recreating anything because I fear I wasn't really alive when the ancient texts were. I had no idea he was. No one did a side-by-side or anything. How was I to know? I didn't watch basketball in the womb.
Apparently, people don't have rights to the picture of Michael Jordan. So you just have to know.
Just ask him. He's in the garage.
He's right there. Like, just ask him. Hey, is this on like Getty Images somewhere maybe, do you think?
Someone could AI it up and then there are no laws with that.
Copyright laws can't hurt you if you don't know they exist. Makes you think.
Sorry, officer.
What are you going to do? Arrest me for copyright infringement?
Cringe.
Crazy. No, I'm glad that we could talk about this because I think we've been really needing some vector checks as far as what's cringe and what isn't. Last thing on this before we talk about the playoff picture, let's talk about the playoff implications. Jordan Bianchi, friend of the show that doesn't know he exists, he said on the teardown, that he believes 2311 to now be one of the top 4 teams in NASCAR. And you might be saying, okay, so normally we'd be talking about Penske, Hendrick, Joe Gibbs.
And 2311. Brother.
Yeah. I don't
So yeah, what you're saying is true because we all abide by those commandments. Like, I don't know.
What he's saying is that he thinks that 2311 is a better team than Penske. That's what his house
based on this season alone? Sure.
No, he's saying, like, if you look...
No, dude, you have to stop entertaining the things he says. You have to. You gotta. We can't keep doing this. Because that's not how numbers work. That's not how I'll run the numbers tomorrow. You guys, stay tuned to my Instagram stories where I call out Jordan Bianchi for saying this crazy thing.
Watch me greatly mischaracterizing the argument he was making on accident and then accidentally starting a beef between laps down and the teardown.
Dude, I think...
Which is a podcast that we, don't meet your heroes. Don't learn too much about NASCAR. You might think Jordan Bianchi's an idiot. It's a tough thing that we all come to. You know what I mean?
No, his arguments are always definitely maybe not the things that we see. And I think it's nice to have multiple perspectives. If what you're saying, your characterization of this person's argument is that he believes that overall, in all of the years of 2311's conception, that they've outperformed Penske with multiple championships in that time, I would say incorrect.
Well, and I think if his argument is even just this season, it's interesting that he picks on Penske when Joe Gibbs has a win, Penske has a win. Why would it not be Hendrick? Why would you not say 2311 is better than Hendrick?
I wonder if he wouldn't say that because of the Alex Bowman situation. But if you factor Alex Bowman out of it, I think you and I talked earlier about how Kyle Larson is officially washed. Like a fish.
I think we're saying it. You heard it here first, guys. Kyle Larson washed.
He's very bad at motorsport.
No, okay, not too much on him now. I like having podcasts and not getting doxxed.
No, I'm kidding. Tyler Reddick, I'd love to see him win a bunch more. 2311's better than Penske, and I think Kyle Larson very good. What else? What else we got?
Good at motorsports.
Carson Hocevar, cringe. NASCAR, sexual.
Cringe. That's the title. Anything surprising you about this playoff implication list that you've put together? Anything you want to highlight? Anything you think stands out?
Guys, can I say something? I think 16 is too many for the Jays. I think it's too many because I was going through and I was typing out the names and I was like, this is fucking all of them. They're all fucking making it to the Jays. Frick. But I also was like, I'm happy with everyone who's in here. So I think I'm fine.
I'm interested to see that Chase Elliott and William Byron are so far up. I'm like, wait, you guys have been here this whole season? I had no clue.
Well, we famously always said about Chase Elliott. He's not winning, but he is consistent. I'm shocked that SVG's made it into the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Can we call it that?
Ty Gibbs is up there.
Get to the chase. And we can AI slop them into little Sweet 16 party dresses.
You got me a white Mercedes and I wanted a black one.
If we're going to AI slap shit, I have some fucking ideas. If you're going to kill the planet and waste our water resources, can we at least make it good and funny? whatever. I think it's unfair that the clash doesn't count for points, and I'm saying that only because I like the person who won it. But I think it should have counted as a full win. Full stop.
I think it should have been double points. I'll say it.
Because it's like really hard. Like they drove around a high school track, basically.
It was cold, and it was the first race of the season, and they just got back from summer break, and it was dark. They had all the lights turned on, and sometimes it's hard because we don't know if any of them are battling astigmatism. And so I think it should be double points.
That's the stance of Lapstone Podcast. Sorry. Argue with the wall about it. Don't care. Ryan Preece, you're winning the chase. Okay, anything else you want to say about NASCAR?
I like it.
Oh, okay. That's good. We have a whole podcast around it, so that's good.
Where are we going next week? Martinsville! Clock time, baby! I'm going to repost that same thing I post every single time there's a Martinsville race and hope it performs just as well the third time.
What do you guys know about clocks? Nothing. Not as much as JGR does. They know a lot about clocks. Ryan Blaney's gonna win a clock. Ryan Blaney's gonna win a clock. I go to Martinsville every year and I go, Ryan Blaney's gonna win, because the first time I watched Martinsville, Ryan Blaney won, and I just thought, he must be the best ever at this track, probably.
He's really good.
I just couldn't consider any other outcomes. I was like, he's gonna win. I mean, he has to. He won that one time I watched.
I like that picture of him kissing the clock. I think that's really
right. It's really good.
NASCAR gone sexual.
NASCAR gone sexual. Okay, on to IndyCar, a very non-sexual, straight-laced sport. Okay, serious. It's important that we treat it with the sanctity and seriousness that it is, and talk about the holiest of traditions, the Indy 500, where we will be seeing Helio Castroneves and Takuma Sato once again racing.
Yeah.
Everybody cheered.
Coincidence that they announced those the week after we said it's basically confirmed based on nothing?
Well, because
they're like, oh shit, these laps down bitches are onto us. Let's just announce it.
Yeah, I mean, we clearly knew, not based on like any empirical evidence, just like we know things.
IndyCar experts, clock it.
Clock it in a Martinsville sort of way.
Nice.
I am very excited. Can I be honest? I kind of forgot about Elio, because to me, I'm just like, of course he'll be there. But then they were like, we'll announce it. And I was like, even better. I love Elio so much. What do you think makes him so smiley? What do you think he's smiling about?
Tax evasion.
That would make anybody smile. Am I right, folks? By the way, filed taxes this week. They make that shit way too hard. You know what I mean? Make that shit way too hard. Am I right, ladies? Taxes. Like this video if you hate taxes.
Meet me at the harbor if you hate taxes.
Do you guys ever just feel like this is some taxation without some motherfucking representation? Am I right, ladies? Or am I right, ladies? I just was he evading U.S. taxes? Was Helio Castroneves evading U.S. taxes? Because to be fair, it's really hard to file your taxes. So I think
and I get that. Fine. And the attorney, I'm gonna butcher this, but he was basically like, he doesn't do taxes. He races cars.
That was like the nicest way possible. He could have been like, he's kind of dumb, guys. Like, it's not taxes, malicious.
He races cars. It's not. Yeah, it was literally not intentional.
It's just like tax season falls at a really tough time for these IndyCar drivers. You know what I mean? Like, there's no
April. Like, you know what comes after April? The month of May.
Dude, honestly, I don't blame him at all. I get it, buddy. They're fucking confusing, Elio. We get it.
Tax evasion is a victimless crime, like piracy.
You wouldn't steal a car. Why would you steal his DVD?
Oh, God.
Also, I feel like the tax evasion thing was around the time where he was winning Dancing with the Stars. So I honestly feel like it was targeted just to like bring him down a pedestal. Like the U.S. government was like, this guy
Humble
is
him.
way too fucking happy. Do something about it.
He's getting too powerful with that mirror ball. Let's look into his finances.
They saw him take that mirror ball and they're like, no way he's fucking paying taxes on that. Get him, boys.
Hey, I want to see something real quick.
So between the Unk-Off, who are you putting your money on? And the Unk-Off consists of Ryan Hunter-Reay, it consists of Elio Castroneves or Takuma Sato. Who are you putting your money on in the Unk-Off? This is excluding regular chartered unks like Will Power and Scott Dixon. They are chartered unks.
What does unk? Can I Google what unk means?
I would love to hear you Google what unk means, and go ahead and read aloud what you find.
Because I thought unk meant ugly. Oh, but use Bradley for any older man. Unk, sick. So it's like cuz. Bro.
Right, MJ. No, that's exactly what it's like. You're right on, girl.
I think, hear me out. You know I'm a big Ryan Hunter-Reay. I'm actually a fan of all of these unks.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm asking.
So this is hard for me. Hey, that's crazy. Wow. After watching Takuma Sato send that RLL into the wall.
Important distinction. RLL.
RLL, he sent it into the wall, had a crazy crash, was okay. Was like, not even was okay. Right. Broken rib. And then he made it into the Fast Six. I think he is an unstoppable force. So I would put my money on Takuma Sato. But I don't bet because sports gambling is cringe.
No, sports gambling is super cringe. But I mean bet in like the way that like we bet like Monopoly money. You know what I mean? You and I are going all in with like Hello Kitty,
my marbles
or some shit. Yeah, your marbles. We got a jar full of buttons that we're really gonna throw in the ring.
It just has to make sense to us.
It just has to make sense to us. I think in the Unk-Off, I'm going with Ryan Hunter-Reay. I think it's like would be entertaining in a way to see him kind of take the dynamic at Arrow McLaren and dump it on its head and just be like, I'm winning the Indy 500. And they're like, but we all thought it was going to be Pato. And he's like, wrong, it's me. Sorry, guys. You can't duplicate the magic I got. Yeah. I think that would be really entertaining. I think it would really do something for me. I think that's who I'm putting my marbles on down for the Unk-Off.
I'm absolutely. Any of the
Elio,
unks.
Don't take this personal. Elio, please. Come back. You are important to us. We didn't mean to make you feel excluded.
No. We just want you to channel all of this energy into the Daytona 500 when you do it next year.
Exactly. This isn't your race anymore. You've won it so many times. We got to get out there and get a different crown jewel, baby. You need one of those Daytona 500 wins. Or at least the ARCA race. Maybe we could win the ARCA race.
Hey, you know what? Let's just try to finish.
I don't even like Cletus McFarlane that much. You could surely beat him.
Did we ever talk about that? Is it worth it?
To talk about?
Okay,
what is his problem? Yeah, the Cletus thing is just like, as internet sensations ourselves, we don't want to talk bad about somebody else in the industry. I mean, we're clearly just as charming and successful as he is.
Sure. I don't think my critiques would come for Mr. Cletus. I think it would more be like, NASCAR, what are we doing? Anyways, we don't have to talk about it. I'm actually scared now. I'm starting to sweat.
If we would take it too much, we're really just closing the door to us making our big truck series debut. Why would we close that avenue for ourselves?
It's not even truck series. Isn't he doing O'Reilly?
Xfinity. Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, trucks, like, people are gonna fuck around in trucks. Like, Corey Ryan's gonna win anyways. Like, if you want to fuck around in trucks, fuck around in trucks. But then as soon as we get to O'Reilly, I'm like, hey, that car actually scares me a little bit. Like, that car, people are like, I think the Indy 500 in an Indy car, scary. I think driving a Formula One car, scary. I'm like, I think the O'Reilly car scares me a little bit.
I think IndyCar honestly could take a page out of this book and start putting IndyCar influencers in the 500. I have a couple in mind. I don't like them.
Put us on a short oval first, actually. Let me do the Milwaukee Mile. Please.
Let me see something. I think I can do it. Let me see something. Give me Christian Rasmussen's car ASAP. I need that. Let me see something. I think, yeah, let's not close the door to any opportunities for internet celebrities in motorsports, because there's a day that we might get a YouTube plaque and we might get called up to ARCA at least.
Did you see about, speaking of internet celebrities, we should close the door on in motorsport series, the FE situation that's happening?
Oh, that they let a little influencer thing get in the way of their actual racing.
They were racing the real cars. I did not realize that this season, that they were like, fuck it, you can drive the real cars. And she did $1 million worth of damage. No, €1 million with euros worth of damage.
Which is fake money, everybody knows.
Not real. And they had to like bend the rules, or they didn't bend the rules. It was written in the rules that is like, hey, if one of these influencers who have never driven a car before decides to drive your car into a wall, then we're not going to penalize you for the fixes that you're going to have to do before you compete. And I'm like, the fact that you had the wherewithal to think that through, write that down, incorporate that into the contract, you should have in that moment been like, wait, we don't want that to happen.
I don't think that they should drive the cars, guys. What if we get like old cars or something? You know what I mean? What if we didn't have to do any of this?
It's so, and you're doing all of this for zero payoff because you're so dog shit at marketing your own sport. It drives me nuts. I just refuse to talk about Formula E because they pissed me off so bad. Anyways, what sport are we talking about? IndyCar. Yeah, I'm excited for the Moscato in the 500.
Let's talk about IndyCar marketing. One of our favorite things to talk about. So they announced this week that they are doing a series this year. I'm assuming that this is to replace 100 Days to Indy. And it seems like every week or every other week or every race week at least or something, they're going to be posting like a 15-minute docu-series style video on YouTube. This first episode that came out was about St. Pete. Seemed to highlight Alex Palou as the current reigning champion as well as the winner of St. Pete. So I don't know if that means the next one will get like a Joseph Newgarden episode, and then like after that we'll get a Kyle Kirkwood episode. I don't know what happens if Alex Palou goes back to winning a bunch, if that means they'll start highlighting other storylines. I think it's like they're kind of making it as the season unfolds, which I think is an interesting tactic for a docuseries, because we don't know how we would want to separate out the episodes maybe if we don't know how the season plays out. But I wanted your thoughts on this format, whether you think it'll be more successful than 100 Days to Indy, maybe how they could have taken the 100 Days to Indy format and like changed it. Do you think docuseries work anymore to get new fans?
I definitely think they work to get new fans. We saw that in F1. The issue is, which we also saw in F1, is you bring up these new fans into the sport and then you just like discard them. And I think that we hadn't gotten to that issue yet with the 100 Days to Indy. I didn't love 100 Days to Indy. I did watch some of it. Wasn't a huge fan. I don't think it was giving like the Drive to Survive or the full speed of it all. So I'm interested to see how this goes. My thought is, if they're putting it on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. YouTube, 15 minutes. It's like, okay, clearly we're looking for a younger demographic, and I think that'll be beneficial. I don't know if people are going to tune into it weekly the way that people like binge watched like Drive to Survive. That's my only thing. Like, I don't personally, someone who watches the sport, have any interest in going and watching that. Whereas like if it were a vlog, I think that's kind of different. Like I love watching like Joseph Newgarden's vlogs, Scotty Mac's vlogs, because it's like we get a different voice, but it's like, are we just going to get the Fox voice, but in a condensed format? I don't know. I think it's a good idea, especially if they're looking for that younger audience. I'm interested to see how it would turn out. I don't think it's going to do Drive to Survive numbers, which makes me, it's hard to be like, I wish IndyCar would have a Drive to Survive, but also like,
you wish they would have a Drive to Survive.
I wish IndyCar would have taken the opportunity, because like Drive to Survive has what, like 7 seasons now?
Something crazy,
it's like,
yeah.
We couldn't put out one season of a Drive to Survive-esque
show
series at all. Like even NASCAR took that opportunity, but it's like IndyCar just probably didn't have the resources. I don't know.
It's interesting because 100 Days to Indy used to be on NASCAR on Netflix alongside Drive to Survive. It used to actually suggest like after you were done watching Drive to Survive, you might like these shows, and it was 100 Days to Indy in full speed. I think that's interesting. 100 Days to Indy though, and I think that this series that they're making on YouTube is going to have the same problem. IndyCar refuses to embrace and get down and dirty with drama. They have these series that are so PR voice centric, which is weird because that's not how the drivers are. Like drivers in IndyCar are so less PR trained than like an F1 driver is. Yet when I watch Drive to Survive, they are straight up confronting the most dramatic, dirty, drama-filled storylines. Like, here's this driver that got kicked from his seat. Here's the driver they brought in mid-season to replace him, blah, blah, blah. Like, think about if we would have gotten down and dirty with that with the number 6 Aero McLaren car. And we would have had, like, a full embrace the drama moment. But we never got that because, A, 100 Days to Indy only focused on the Indy 500, not the full season, and B, because whenever they do produce something for IndyCar, it's so weirdly like PR polished. Yeah. And it's just so weird because that's just not what IndyCar is. So it's like, why can we not get into the drama?
That's why it feels silly to me to offer something that is a competitor to things that perform so well, like the Joseph Newgarden, the David Malukas, when he would do his vlogs. It's like we already have these out here that are performing well. When you introduce this, people aren't going to be interested in it because they're looking for, when you're looking for vlog content on YouTube, you're looking for like authenticity, unfortunately. Exactly. And I don't believe that Fox can provide that. But like with the argument with like DTS, having like a DTS focused on the drama, you could still do like racing based drama. Like it doesn't have to be like the interpersonal stuff. You could, but like imagine talking about the Penske scandal last year at the 500. That would have been insane. You could even follow, since we missed the number 6 Aero McLaren thing, you could follow Nolan Siegel and be like, he's struggling. Yeah. Follow him throughout the season, see if it gets any better. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That sucks, but then you may have a replacement. You could follow Alex Palou and be like, will he like there are so many good storylines that I feel like we are intentionally missing out on because we're afraid we're afraid of our image, but it's like clearly you don't give a fuck about your image, Mr. Penske. So it's just confusing why we're not capitalizing on such like fulfilling sport with so many narratives.
And that's why I'm also hesitant about this series. I think it looks like very snazzy, very well produced. I think making it as the season goes on is a mistake rather than, like you said, thematically making episodes. Okay, let's make a storyline around Nolan Siegel. Let's make a 20-minute docuseries style that goes across the whole season of Nolan Siegel and all of the drama that entails of him given an ultimatum by his team principal, knowing that he's already on track to not meet it, having to make it through the rest of the season. And they do this all the time in DTS where they like end the episode with being like, and this person lost their fucking seat. Here's like a sit down like confessional of them as they're talking about like losing their seat. And like I think that they're not able to do that if we're releasing episodes each week based on whatever the race was. Like it works for now, I guess, because I think like the Alex Pillow one was very well done. It talked about his journey into racing. It introduced him as the character, whatever. But what do we do the next time Alex Pillow wins?
Well, and is that what they're going to do? Or are they going to like slowly work their way through the entire grid? And then my thing is, because there's no storyline, this isn't going to be treated like a series. Like, yes, it's a series, but there's no reason for me not to just be like, oh, I'm a Christian Rasmussen fan. I'm just going to watch Christian Rasmussen's episode.
Right.
Like, what are you doing to convince people to watch it in entirety? And it's, I don't know, because it's like giving vlog without all the things that people like about vlogs. You're putting it on YouTube, which already... you don't have a lot of traffic to your YouTube in the first place. So it's kind of like, it's interesting. And and I also know they're not going to put anything up, which I think is the biggest issue, on the weeks we don't have anything. Like when you should
we had nothing this weekend
putting stuff up. So I just think I'll watch how it plays out. I don't have super high expectations, but I guess we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we can talk about where IndyCar marketing is going good, which is that they released stats for the first 3 races viewership. And those are some interesting numbers. All of the races over 1 million, which last year was like unbelievable. Like there were so many races that were not even close to 1 million. And the fact that we are like knocking 1 million off the first 3 races, that's good. I think it's interesting and telling what the 3-week run did for IndyCar. I do think it did build momentum. So that's good. Let's never do the big gap again. Whatever you guys do for next year's schedule, let's not do the big 3-week gap right after St. Pete again. What other takeaways did you have from that graphic that they posted?
I was excited, of course. Okay. But my first thought was we started off with 3... not like gimmicky races, but 2 races obviously were accompanied by NASCAR. And then the 3rd race was promoted by the football team and the baseball team.
Right.
And so obviously like it got some traction outside of that. So I feel like there's some like confounding variables when we're looking at these numbers. It's not just like who's tuning into like IndyCar, just for IndyCar. And I think we'll see that like once we watch Barber and in the future. But like for the beginning of a season, I think that's great. And I think that it shows that since we didn't have like a huge drop off by the 3rd race, that people are willing to stick around. Maybe if we do have people coming in from NASCAR or from those football, baseball team fans, that they're sticking around. But only time will tell, but it is exciting.
What I would have given, and I know it's a tall ask, for some demographic breakdowns of this data, because I feel it in my bones that there was probably a huge jump of younger people watching. And I'm going to say it, you guys fucking laps down, gone woke again. I guarantee it was a big jump in women viewership. I feel it in my bones. And I'm like, I wish they would have released that data, but it's probably harder to get that data than just like the raw number of here's how many people tuned in.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It's interesting for sure. Last thing for IndyCar, predictions or thoughts for Barber. What do you think we're going to see?
I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to see some whimsy. I think we're going to see a spider.
A big
and
one.
a woman in the lake. I think we're going to see Georgina. And I think this is going to be Scotty Mac's weekend. And I'm sick and tired of him having a good weekend and then parking it on the inside of a wall. And I think he's going to keep it together and he's going to win.
If it makes you feel any better, I think the walls are a little farther away from the track at Barber.
Road courses. He accidentally parks it in the lake somehow. It's like, that's not even close to the track. How did you do that?
I think it's going to be Alex Plow. I do. I think it's going to be Alex Plow.
No.
I think Alex Plow is disgustingly good at Barber. Guy's really good at Barber. And that's a feeling I have. And what are you going to do about it?
I'm like, where are you getting that?
I think it's Alex Palou. I think he's going to win.
I think that that's constantly a safe bet. But think about the buttons, YouTube.
I'd put him on that. You don't want to bet buttons?
No, I'm trying to think of what button I would bet. I used to have these little pink ones. They were like really thick, but they were like little hearts. I'd bet 2 of those and like the yellow ones with the really big holes that you see at like Build-A-Bear. 1 of those on Scotty Mac. What are you putting up on Alex Palou?
I think I would probably bet one of those long tubular buttons that you use in like a coat sort of situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of those that they put on the sleeve in case one of the buttons falls off. I'd bet one of those, and I'd bet 2 of these like very beautiful tortoiseshell buttons that came on this cardigan that I bought one time from J. Crew. 2 of those, 1 tubular button.
I guess we're gonna see who walks away three buttons richer.
Everybody, put in the chat your favorite type of button and whether or not you would bet it on IndyCar. By chat, I mean the comments. You guys know what the fuck I meant. Jeez, stop embarrassing me. I'm sorry I misspoke. Gosh, not everybody's perfect.
This has been live the whole time. Could you imagine?
No, I would not. I could not. Do you want to talk about anything else IndyCar, or can we quickly talk about Formula One? Quickly. So fast.
We can quickly talk about Formula One.
Okay, the big news in Formula One is that Jonathan Wheatley. Are you familiar with who Jonathan Wheatley is?
No.
He's the DILF-looking one that runs Audi. Computer, show me the DILF-looking one that runs Audi.
Could you show me? Computer, bring up the Audi DILF. DILF-looking one, Audi.
Computer.
Nothing.
Okay, well, Google his name. He's more than
what
just
was it
a
again?
DILF. Jonathan Wheatley.
With an H?
I don't know. Probably. What are you, gluten-free?
No
you don't know how to spell
He
wheat?
must be British. Is he British? British. Knew it. Okay.
What do you think?
He's in some pictures, sure. In other pictures, he seems like he should be hosting the Great British Bake Off. Which...
I'm kind of into that. Makes you think. He is the current team principal, was the team principal for Audi. He was the team principal for Stake. I've been watching DTS. They did a whole episode on him and his leadership style for Stake. And it was very like, he's very like gentle parenting. Like he's like, I don't want Nico and Gabby Bortoletto to feel pressure. I think that this team is all about like just having fun. And the more fun you have, the faster the car goes. Like, I just want everybody to feel
It did
loved.
work once.
Right. And I literally like was watching this and I was literally like, oh my God, like this is the most untoxic team of all time. Well, he's leaving them basically almost immediately. Like after 1 year, he's leaving the Audi project, presumably to go to Aston Martin for way more money. And then Aston Martin, it's rumored, no longer will have Adrian Newey as their team principal. And Aston Martin, kind of to combat that, released a statement that was like, we don't do things like other girls here at Aston Martin. We don't have this quote unquote team principal. And if we did, it wouldn't be Adrian Newey, but that doesn't mean that he's fired. Stop saying it like that, guys. He doesn't like that. What do you think about this whole mess? Do you think that it makes Jonathan Wheatley kind of seem like a fake asshole for acting like he's so cutesy and nice and like loves Audi so much just to immediately leave as soon as he gets a bigger check? Do you think that Nico and Gabby will feel betrayed?
It's work. Like, it's not like they're not the housewives. This isn't.
Oh, now we
this
have to
summer
be
I turned
about
Mormon.
What the fuck is this? Next, you're gonna be like, bring back grid girls. This sport's changed too much.
Bring them back.
Talking about drama.
Get some of those crypto girls out there. Where's my friend Todd?
Okay, fine. You don't want to entertain that. What about?
No,
I think ridiculous.
No, listen to me.
Sorry, you just shot me down. You made me feel silly. I was talking about something silly, and then you said stop being silly, and so I stopped.
I think that Nico and Gabby, they're not getting paid the most on the grid. And I think that they see their friend Jonathan, who has been like a mother to them, get offered this opportunity to be
rich
at a different team with more money. And they're going to be like, brother, I understand you had to do it to them. And then they support him.
They support him. Okay. What do you think about the team that's epically failing at Formula One, saying, like, we don't do things like other teams. We're different.
I think that is so funny. It's like, no shit, you don't do things like other teams. Your driver's driving without any hands.
I think we should have a team principal. That seems like a good
Notice how the other teams are winning and have their hands. I just really don't think we are focusing enough on the nerve damage. I really don't. I don't. People should be angrier about the nerve damage.
They announced that Jack Crawford will be doing FP1 for Aston Martin in Japan, and people started quoting him, were like, hope he has health insurance, but he's American, so probably not.
No, dude. Blue Cross Blue Shield isn't gonna help with your Aston Martin nerve damage.
Do you think it's because Aston Martin was focused so much on that Valkyrie sports car that they made for aura farming purposes that they took all the focus away from
this
F1?
Is a cover-up for Lawrence Stroll being in the Epstein files?
Allegedly, and yes. Makes you think. Not a good cover-up because we still remembered the other thing, so try harder.
But it's not funny, is it?
It's really not funny, is it? One last thing that I thought you would get a kick out of. Haas F1 team is going to be having a Godzilla livery in Japan. What do you think about that?
So I saw it organically on my non-motorsport account, and I thought it was like fake. Knowing that it is not fake. Also, did you see? No, we'll come back to that. I'm excited. I love Godzilla. I've always been a big fan of Godzilla.
I know.
Seen all the movies.
Like
I do.
Like
no, I really do.
And Esteban Ocon.
Yeah. Did you see Esteban Ocon helped announce the new Spider-Man movie?
I was so proud of him. I was like, that's my friend. He loves Spider-Man.
It was really cute. And he did it by like playing his little Simon game. And he's like, with his Spider-Man mask on. I was like, that's cute.
Adorable,
That's
really.
big for him.
Back to the Godzilla.
Yes.
You saw it organically.
And I thought it was fake. because I was like, Haas, the American team that had, and I don't know if we've ever publicly talked about this, they have like hot dogs and rocket ships and like a pizza, like a pizza box on their merchandise. Have you ever been to the HaasF1team.com before?
I haven't. I can't say I have.
Yes. And it's very odd. So when I saw Godzilla, I was like, this almost makes too much sense for Haas for some reason.
I don't think that Haas identifies as the American team anymore now that they have been partnered with Toyota. I think that they are like fully a Japanese backed team now. I don't think they give a fuck about.
So can we get rid of Gene?
I think that time will take care of that.
And when we do get rid of Gene, does that Haas, Gene Haas,
right.
does that like significantly decrease the chance of Cole Custer getting to do an FP1? Or
I think so.
Okay.
I'm surprised that the chance has still been on the table this whole time.
Well, he does Coda.
We could have at least gotten Sheldon Creed in there. One of the two of you could have gotten an FP1 session, in my opinion.
Well, Sheldon Creed wears glasses, so.
Oh, you can't do that in F1. It's kind of like some nerd shit. You can't really do that in F1. Yeah. They don't like it. Okay. Well, I think that's everything that we have for our podcast. Do you think I cussed less this episode? I guess we'll find out, won't we?
I actually noticed halfway through that you were cussing less and I was cussing significantly more.
I think that's good for us, though.
I don't know. Do you think we're going to have to cut out the part where we start beef with Jordan Bianchi?
No, I'm not going to cut that out at all.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering.
I think Jordan Bianchi has bigger haters to worry. And we're not even haters. We're admirers of the rage baiting.
No, crap. I love what he does. I just don't believe him.
Your work. Exactly. I'm not afraid. I think we can leave it in.
Okay. Sick.
I don't think we're going to cut anything. Not even that Epstein part. I think we're going to leave that in. Because I said allegedly, so I think it's fine.
I didn't.
I was just covering our bases because we don't have a Riley Herbst to pay for our lawyers.
No. It was alleged.
Right. I'll catch you guys next time on Laps Down. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review. And welcome to all the new faces. We had an influx of new faces. So welcome. And we will catch you guys later. Next week, we're going to talk about Barber. We're going to be talking about Martinsville. We're going to be talking about Japan. Bye.
Goodbye.